Alright, we're going to try this again. I had this video made. It was 17 minutes long, and YouTube decided that it didn't like it at all and refused to upload it, so I'm doing it again. I'm doing a general overview of my library. I've got quite a few books, and the way to shorten this up so that it doesn't be an hour or two long video, I'm going to make different shorter videos into subject areas. This one's going to be homesteading and how-to reference books. We'll start with these. In the 1970s, Story Publishing, Story Books, they've had different names at different times. They published a series of really small pamphlets, bulletins, on self-help, country wisdom, country skills, how-to books. This was the era that Mother Nature News book magazine started appearing also. These are really good basic knowledge how-to pamphlets. There's about 30 or 40 of these, and you can buy them on Amazon between $2 and $5 each. They're about 30 pages each. They're real short, but they're to the point. The same people took those books and compiled all of them into this one. There's 8,200 useful, according to their blurb here. There's 8,200 useful skills and step-by-step instructions with over about 1,900 diagrams. This is a big book with small print. It gives you, different useful knowledge things. Is how to build a rabbit cage out of wire with the latches. There's recipes here for dog food. Everything is in different tabs. This one's for general cooking. There's recipes for food, for pancakes, all kinds of information. Gardening, what is a weed, what isn't a weed. Things that you thought were weeds actually have useful purposes. How to trim trees. How to plant root-bound plants that have been fed and fertilized way too much in a container. Herbal remedies. General. There's sections on here for how to frame up an outbuilding, how to wire a house for general electricity. Just lots of general information, and how to go about doing things. This book is a continuation of the same thing. It's an updated edition. It gives a wide range of information also, from building a room that's heated by the sun, heat exchangers, wiring on your house, how to frame up different different buildings, and how to put together put together different floor structures, installing windows, laying up a brick sidewalk, garden vegetables, and then you start getting into composting, animal husbandry. What isn't covered in this book is covered in this book, and it does a fairly good job of explaining how to do a wide range of different things. This book here, these two books were published later on. This book here was published in the early 1970s. This is the 10th edition of the 35th anniversary. This book is the beginning. These two books reference this one, and this is it's on newspaper print, and the drawings are cruder, but the information provided is just it's better. It's indexed: garden vegetables, herbs and flavorings, food preservation, animal husbandry, poultry, goats, cows, bees, rabbits, sheep, and pigs. This is a very good reference book. They do expect you to be able to be of the mentality to already start doing things for yourself. If you're not handy with certain hand tools, this isn't going to help you. If you've never taken apart an appliance to see, is it possible to fix it, or do I just need to throw it away? Then none of these books are likely to be of interest to you or to actually give you any useful information. This book here, I debated putting this in a different category. Shelters, Shacks, and Shanties. This book was originally printed in 1908. Originally published in 1914. The D.C. Beard lived from 1850 to 1941. They bought the rights from this and republished it in 1991. So it's a fresh package of old information, but it's all useful information. And this is the kind of book, if you're going to homestead, there's two mentalities. You can go to town and you can buy store-bought fence posts, or you can go into the woods and cut down sticks that you can drive into the ground and make wooden fencing out of. This will show really good drawings on how to make door latches. How to make door latches that are spring-loaded, so that you push the latch, and when you let go of it, it returns. It shows you how to rig up a latch that you can use your foot to operate the door latch. And all of this can be made out of wood that you find growing anywhere nearby. They also show you how to make a door latch where the actual operating mechanism is hidden from the obvious. This is one that caught my eye because I just had a discussion with a couple of different people. Misty Prepper, she made a wood storage shed out of a hog panel. and somebody else just made a portable shelter with an inside fireplace. His was made out of canvas, but you can combine those two ideas and make a semi-permanent shelter with a looped-over hog panel and a portable tarp, or if you have access to roofing tin, that would work also. This book will show you how to frame up everything from a simple stick and thatch debris shelter to one made out of peeled bark, to the more fancy ones of the European-sized style finished house. It's very if you're ever thought about building something and not using store-bought materials, this is an excellent book to have around to take a look at. This book here was originally published in 1908. This one's called Henleys Formulas for the Home and Workshop. The original title was Henleys Formulas and Trade Secrets. Originally published in 1908, it was revised in 1927. And the significance of that is that at that time, not all of the United States had electricity run to every house. So many of these formulas and procedures are done without the benefit of electricity, which is really useful if the lights happen to go out in your neighborhood and you still need to do something. This is a good book to pick up. But if you're not prepared for the lights to go out for a few days, you probably aren't prepared to do some of the things that are in this book. It's organized alphabetical order. There's different subjects. There's more than 5,000 or 6,000 different things to do in this book. Like adhesives, ceramics, candles, beverages, antidotes for poisons, cosmetics, cleaning, how to mix different things for cleaning, and how to clean different things, how to make cider, cheese, embalming fluid. Just about everything that you can think of, it's listed in here, alphabetical order. Explosives, fertilizers, fireproofing, gunpowder, compositions that will ignite other things, inks, jeweler's formulas, leather, matches, metals, paper, polishes, clear in the back. There's a section in here for VW, preservation of yeast. Very useful book. I'm going to put the ISBN numbers for all of these books in the more info section underneath the video. This book was published in the 1960s, and it follows along with the same general gist as Henley's, but it uses more modern materials. This was originally published before World War I. This one was published after World War II, and there's a lot of more materials listed in here that weren't even invented in here. it'll it lists many things that are useful. The one example that I use is the fabric softener or the water softener for that many people put in their bath water, called Calgon. There's inside of this book is a listing for about 50 additional uses for Calgon, other than just putting it in your bath water. It's a really handy, useful reference book to have around. Caveman Chemistry. This is actually a textbook for a junior college chemistry course, and this lists in plain language different ways to do a wide range of things with chemistry. This it starts with, fermentation, and it explains as you're doing the fermentation routine how what is produced at different times. Not only are you making ethanol and carbon dioxide, but you're also making a substance called dried distillers yeast and dried distillers grains, which is it's high in protein and high in the B vitamins. And it continues from there to how to work with different ceramics, and from ceramics, how to make ceramics. A little bit further back, it tells you how to use those ceramics to make a crucible to handle hot materials. And then from the hot materials, it tells you how to work with hot materials like leads and silvers and golds and glasses. It goes into soaps, fertilizers, plastics, how to actually make plastics from household materials, and plastics and polyesters. And beyond all of that, it uses plain language for the instructions, and it gives you household names for the materials that are used. If you've ever thought of needing to do things after normal and ordinary is over with, this is a useful book to have around. Reference book. Chemical Magic. This is a book of gimmicks and tricks. This is for the guy that wants to stand up in a goofy suit and do magic tricks in front of a bunch of kids using chemistry. That's the premise of this book. But the reality of the book is that it teaches you how to do very useful things. If you've ever considered that you might want to produce a whole bunch of smoke at some time, this book will tell you how to do it. If you've ever thought that you might want to use different color smoke for different things, this book will tell you how to make different color smoke. And it'll also tell you how to make different color fireworks and pyrotechnics. It'll teach you how to make a whole bunch of CO2 in a hurry with sodium carbonate, which is washing soda, and vinegar. And you can use the CO2 to power a chemical engine. If you want to, if you've got a little pinwheel that you want to spin in a hurry to do something else, CO2 coming out of a test tube that's producing CO2 under pressure coming out of a test tube in a tube would be one way to do that. Or CO2 will also put out a fire. But if you put CO2 inside of a closed container, everybody knows what a dry ice and water explosion is all about. Dry ice is carbon dioxide that's frozen into a solid. Different things like that. Just trivia. When I was in high school, there was four boys. When I was in the freshman class, there was 4 boys that were in the senior class. They finished all of their schoolwork, and they didn't want to graduate early, but they'd already tested out of all the courses. So the school just said, well, okay, you can spend some time up in the science lab. And we had a really good science teacher at the time that should have been teaching at the college level, but he was teaching at the high school level. And he taught them all kinds of things in the chemistry lab that weren't available to everybody else in the high school. And what put an end to that is they mixed together some things that they poured onto the landing. It was a 3-story building, the old 1930s standard brick high school building, and the landing on one of the stairwells, they spread this chemical that was completely clear. And when this kid ran down the stairs and landed on this landing, it blew both of his shoes off. It exploded hard enough that it broke his shoestrings and blew his shoes off, and then sent him down the rest of the stairwell, but that's besides the point. If you want to know how to do that, there's a section in here that tells how to go about doing that. That was a science experiment that went wrong. What it was supposed to do was make a sound like snap, crackle, and pop like Rice Krispies, but they spread it too thick, and the kid walked on it before it was completely dried, and that was the side reaction. But this is a great book if you wanted to lose fingers, or put something into your eyeball, or burn yourself, or to erase your name from the living society. This is a good book to accomplish that if you mix things wrong or on the wrong scale. But it's also useful if you want to do some of those effects for something specific that you had in mind. But this is just a general overview of different books that I have, and I hope that you found the descriptions of them as interesting as I did.